Hey everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and you are on the lifeboat. Tonight I have a special guest, and this is a good one, people. For those of you who have been on the lifeboat a long time, you obviously know who this is. If you've just gotten here, if you're brand new to the lifeboat, and I'll tell you something, Johnny. In the last, say, 45 days, the lifeboat has picked up about a couple of thousand people to get us up to about 6,200. And I think in the same period of time, you picked up about 6,200, right? Or short, or pretty darn close.
A number of people got on the bus.
Yeah,
I've been hearing.
Say that again.
We're going to need a new bus. There's been some good growth. It was a good month, and the next couple should be exciting. So I thought, I got a lot of emails from a lot of people because they see at the end of every video, I talk about the lifeboat, every video I do, because it's that important to me. It's more important than the peppers I'm eating. And so I got a number of emails in the last couple of weeks saying, you should do a sobriety video. And I always say, check out my brother's channel. But I thought, the timing of this would be good.
Well, you know what? With 6,200 new people, there's a lot of them that may not realize just, how far you've come in terms of healing. I mean, because you were a pretty deep off into the weeds for a while yourself.
You know what? I was. Here's the thing. Here's my problem. And you're my brother. You know this. Have you ever seen me do anything halfway at all?
No.
No matter what we've ever done, it's like we're in it 5 minutes. Next,
if it's worth doing.
It is. So that's kind of how I was with everything, and
Well,
the good news is, can I tell you something really wonderful? It's the good news is that's how I am with a real passion for helping people get sober. In the last week, I've had two friends of mine, and these are people that I've known for years in some cases, that reached out and said, I'm having trouble and I can't stop. Can you help me? And to be able to say, yes, I can. Yes, I can help you. It's a beautiful thing. And to be able to direct them to a place where they're going to get a lot of help. And I think that's beautiful. I thank God that I had a channel when I quit, because we talk about the opposite of addiction being connections. At the time I quit, I had 44,000 connections.
Right.
Felt them all. So I think that helped me.
No, I think that there's something to that. If you would talk to me about connections with individuals and finding those connections via something like YouTube or Facebook or something where you meet somebody online. Years ago, I thought that was pretty much hogwash, especially when I was locked up and I wasn't part of social media in any way. It just seemed creepy to me. But the longer that I'm in it, the more that I realize that it levels the playing field. You meet people all over the world who are doing the exact same thing, right? They may be doing it in a different place, but it's, the addiction thing is really the same no matter where you are or what you're addicted to or whatever. It's
the forum, the whole format you have with the way that the lifeboat is structured is just so brilliant, because it's really funny. I'm comfortable sitting here. I'm comfortable sitting in front of a camera. But before any of this, if I had to walk into a meeting somewhere at some office building and see a bunch of people and stand up, I'd be very uncomfortable with that. So the format, I think, is brilliant. I really do. I think it's just a wonderful thing. And, I heard you say once, it was a great analogy. It was about Roger Bannister. Running the mile. And, there was a ceiling and nobody could cry. I can't remember if it was I don't remember.
They were trying to bust the 5-minute mile.
And, nobody could do it. And everybody tried. The minute he did, within a very short period of time, a whole ton of people were able to.
13 others in 90 days. It was just incredible.
Everybody can do it. It's like, that's why it's really good, because of all people, there are people that, right now I'm only assisting people that are just seeing me for the first time, but people that knew me back then, they'd be like, wait, what? So
every once in a while, I will come across somebody from my past that will find out what I'm doing. That'll just be like, what's the angle? You know, they're
Yeah, well,
exactly what is it you're doing and why. The amazing thing about the platform, it's funny that you said that. You know, walking into a sobriety meeting and getting up and doing your testimony. If I were to walk into a sobriety meeting and I was the speaker, I think I'd do just fine. But I think to walk into one and sit down at a table and, you know, get a cup of coffee and sit down next to three people that you've never seen before, right, on the same row as you, and when they get around to you, you stand up and you say, "I'm Tommy, and my drug of choice is heroin." Honestly, I think I'd be pretty uncomfortable. I really do. I think that this really does lend itself to allowing people to open up in ways that they probably aren't used to. You
right.
know? And it hooks them up with people that with similar experiences, and then the really heavy duty stuff takes place, right? Like when this really starts to work is when people leave the boat and, you know, they're corresponding and talking with people who have similar life experiences. And I think that's, you know, that's kind of the beauty of the program is when it starts to get to, you know, to that level.
Well, I think we're also equipping people. The boat is equipping people a lot better. Like when I got sober, I had a boat of one. I didn't have a 5. I had a 1. You were it. You know what I mean? And that was it. And I wasn't journaling. There were a lot of things I was not doing right at the beginning. And you know, thank God it worked. But you know what I did do is I burned ships, man. I burned the ships. I called my children, sat my mom and dad down and said, look, here's how it is. Talked to you that morning. So I think that was important. You know what I mean? Saying to a bunch of people, hey, this is what's going on. And owning it immediately publicly to the immediate people in my immediate circle was really important. I didn't tell the channel for an entire year. It wasn't until exactly 1 year, the day that I spoke to you. 1 year from that day was the day that I drank a bottle of plutonium and gargled it to celebrate my 1 year of sobriety.
That's my absolute favorite video of yours, by the way.
It's a pretty good one. I'm pretty proud of it.
Seriously, of the whatever you've done, 4,000 and some odd videos. Can you believe that crap, people? 4,000, right? What isn't it?
Yeah, it's 4,800. Almost 4,900.
Good Lord in heaven.
I got to do something special for the 5,000. You know what I'll do? I have a great idea.
Don't say Systroming and don't bring me into it.
First of all, I can't even believe you would say such a thing. Why would you even assume?
Yeah, don't bring me into your reindeer games.
I'm offended that you think I would do that. Like that was your default mode. That was where you went immediately. Yeah. Was don't bring me into it and no Systroming.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you something. Because you said that, I'm bringing you into it. And there's gonna be some Systroming. What I was gonna say was I'm gonna come out there. It doesn't matter when I'm there. I'm gonna film it. I'll just put that and just sit on that nugget till 5,000 comes around, and we'll launch that thing.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, sounds like.
You know what?
Congratulations on that. I mean, you talk about some longevity. That is a long YouTube career for real. You know.
You know, I never thought of it as a career, but I guess I can now. Yeah, we're in October. So October we're gonna turn 7. We'll be rolling into the season 8.
Look what we got here. This is fun. Can you read that?
I sure can. My girlfriend, soon to be fiance, told me about Johnny being on here, and she watches him. Been a big fan of Johnny for years. He's a savage. Mother Earth is so bad. Very cool. I shout. Yeah, everybody that's watching, I appreciate you guys hanging out and checking this out. I hope you're one of the ones.
Well, and Johnny is a savage. You know what? The both of us have had many discussions in the past about some of the terms that people use to describe YouTubers that can make you really uncomfortable. But savage is just a good one. You cannot be at all bummed out with the fact that people call you a savage. You know what I mean? Legend's over the top, but you're a savage. You've always been a savage. I could tell you guys stories. It's funny that you say that it doesn't much matter what you do, because I probably got a lot more ink for being a skier than you did. But I remember 2 or 3 epic savage moments on skis. Do you remember trying to jump that tree on the Northeast Passage? People, my brother got into a downhill tuck, right? This was a downhill trail. Really was. It was a straight from the mid station. I don't mean from the top, but from the mid station, it was a beautiful downhill run, one of the greats, right? Two big, huge sweeping S turns, and then two double dip drops. But when you came around the last corner,
that first one. You had to pre-jump the first one. It would launch you a half a mile. You had to pre-jump, and you'd still fly a couple, at least 100 yards. I'm serious.
Easily covering huge distance. But the craziest part of that whole arrangement is that when you come out of that last sweeping turn, you got to get on the left, like really, really hard. And if you've ever skied, people, people call it chatter, right? You get into these turns that because of how it's set up and because of where it is in the world, your skis just go and they start jumping. But there was a tree on the side of the hill just to the left of the turn that every time we would go up in the chairlift, Johnny would say, I know if I took enough speed into that, I could clear it. And he came in a dead tuck and just hit off the side of this thing and got, ungodly air. But he clears this tree, which is like deadened on the side. And he jumps up in the air and clears it. And when he comes back down, he sticks in like a lawn dart. It was like the cartoons. When he hit, his skis didn't slide, nothing happened. He popped out of the skis and basically probably concussed, but drove his head a good 1.5 feet into the ground. It's one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. And then got up, blood coming out of the nose, the whole works, and just sort of shook it off and went skiing again. But yeah, everything you've done, you've pretty much been a savage.
That was a mistake. That was a really, here's the funny thing. I had so much more speed than I needed to.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Anyway,
that was the problem. You overshot the idea, people, is you want to always come down on something that is steep, right? So you don't really make contact. You just all of a sudden you're skiing again. And he overshot that by a good 25 feet. landed on the flats and just, I'm telling you,
landed right under the chairlift, so everybody saw that.
Yeah, had a great audience. Yeah, a really big audience.
Yard sale, gloves, hat.
Yeah. And those were skis that didn't like coming off your feet. I mean, the dune settings on those were just absolutely ridiculous. So I got a couple of questions for you, man. And if I step over the limits on this and I bring up things that you're not supposed to talk about, right? I don't care. I really don't care. Seven Sun says Hakarl and Stroming sandwiches, and he's saying that because he's not invited to the party.
Hakarl is special. You've had Stroming with me, but Hakarl, yeah.
I'm not in any hurry for the Hakarl. I'm going to be really honest with you. I am not in any hurry for that. So let's be honest. I think the vast majority of the world knows this. I mean, hell, even our trolls are talking about it. And that's a true story. They really are. But there's been a lot of talk about some stuff that's upcoming. And I know that you haven't been able to tell anybody about this. People, he literally has been precluded by the authorities and the powers that be to not tell one person. Like, he can't leak this to anybody. He told me all of it. Like, I know everything, but he wasn't supposed to. Like, he's breaking the rules, but he told me everything. How much can you let sneak out?
If things go well, and it's kind of a weird thing with stuff like this. Dates tend to move around and change, and until you're actually looking at it, you don't really know for sure. But if things go the way they say, 1 week from today, the Sizzler, what they call the Sizzler, will drop. Sort of like coming attractions of what, and that's going to be on the platform. And when that happens, I can tell everybody what platform it is, and I can tell everybody the name of it. Here's the thing. What I can tell you is this. It started off as one thing and then very, very quickly changed into something that I wasn't really, I'm thrilled about, but wasn't ready for.
This is something that it morphed into something bigger than you thought it was going to be.
Well, yeah, when I went to Dallas the very first shoot was in Dallas, and it was supposed to be 2 days of filming, and that was it. I was going to dance back home and go back to work and do my thing. And after the first day, I got a text message from one of the producers on the way back to the hotel, and it just said, "Great job today. We're going to lean on you a lot more in this than we thought. You're cool with that, right?" And I just immediately said yes, but I had no idea what that really meant. So it went from being in 2 scenes to being in all of them, really. Not all of them. I'm in every episode, I think, and most of the scenes. And so I end up becoming the the thing that weaves in and out of every episode that ties the whole thing together. And
Kind of like the thread that ties the show together.
that is
Has
it.
there been any discussion of the deuce?
There has been discussion of a deuce. There will be. Listen. I'm not a betting guy. If I was, the safe money says there's a season 2. Here's the deal: if nobody likes season 1, then I think they've committed to season 2, but it'll stop there. If everybody likes season 1 like they assume they're going to, then this could have legs, and we'll see.
Can you get me 12-7? I'm looking to lay some. I'm looking to lay some cash on this. Who's laying odds? I want in.
Right?
No, I'm kidding. It's got to be. Look, it's got to be pretty exciting stuff out of after years and years of just cranking out videos. I mean, like we just talked about earlier, you're rapidly approaching the 5,000 video. You don't come across a lot of channels that have 5,000 videos.
You know
Even if they're people that just post other people's crap, it's hard to get to 5,000 videos.
I sometimes think I post too much because the rabbit trail is so deep. I know there's stuff there. Like I've had, you've had it. How many people have you had that have come up to you, or either personally or in an email or in a comment, say, "I've watched every video you've ever made"?
That doesn't happen to me as often as it happens to you. Maybe it's because all of my videos are an hour long. You know what I mean? But
I'll have somebody that will say, "I found you a month ago. I've watched them all." Like,
I have seen that though. I have seen. What's funny is when you hover over their name and it says 14 days or whatever, and they're like, "Man, I just got over here. I watched all of your videos. I want to go. Did you catch the lives? Because you know how they lay them out. Like you could probably watch all of my videos in a couple of days, but I think if you start putting the lives in there, it becomes a full-time job.
No, who would want to? But here's the good news: I have 500 today. The video I did today was my 525th challenge. I ate 18 prima tallies, so that was the 525th challenge I've done. So even if people aren't into any of the reviews or anything, just the kind of people that like to see me hurt, there's plenty of it.
It's one of my favorite things.
Well,
it really is. It's absolutely one of my favorite things.
I enjoyed working the surstrumming video with you so much. That was such a good time.
It
really was. Can I tell you? I don't know if I don't like watching videos of me. Just like I'll never sit down and just watch a video of me reviewing something.
Right.
But videos where I'm with you or the ones I was with College Boy, I'm watching those because I'm watching you.
How many times, honestly, did you watch that milk video? You know what? When I put it on now, I say to people, I don't want you to watch it. I just want you to listen to it.
Yeah, just to hear is amazing. But not to get rude though, if you slow it down to half speed, right at this moment where you refund, you can see the oranges. And I don't mean to be rude, but that's
the wave of the 3/4 eaten orange.
And what makes it the best part about the whole thing is immediately
Mama Scoville
walks out, and she just the look of disappointment. Honestly, hey, how many times have you seen her look just like that exact same look?
Well,
where I was 10, when I was 15.
Her adult sons, who between the two of them are 106 years old, are in the backyard hurling milk up. Seriously, we're 106 or 107 years old between us, and we're out there acting like we're 9.
Can I tell you something exciting though? And this is a really cool thing. Man, our dad lived long enough to see us both. Forget the channels and any of that junk. They saw us get sober, and in fact, Mom is here right now. And not only are we getting sober, but we're both trying to do something to help others. They got to be happy about that.
You know what? And more than that, honestly, too, though, is that he loved this.
Yeah,
he really did. He loved the idea that you were creating content, and I know he'd be super fired up with what we're doing with the boat. Addiction's a bitch, and it's touched so many lives, and sadly, because of me, it touched his. Pretty big. But you know what? There are so many beautiful things happening. If I wish, and it's. You deal with this. You deal with this
on a live feed. I have to call you right back, okay? Hold on 1 second, guys. Hey, I'm doing a live feed, an interview with my brother, so I'll call you guys in a bit, all right? I love you guys. Bye. I'm sorry about that. Now I can take these off.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Took
I
a
apologize.
call midstream. I like it. No, but what I was going to say is that, yeah, I don't have any idea. I was trying to eavesdrop on your conversation. I mean, to be really honest, that's kind of what I was doing. I was thinking to myself, I wonder who he's talking to. I kind of want to know. I bet
Well, here's the deal with
inquiring
that.
minds.
That's a lot of the reason I think that here's the truth of it. That's the whole story between Bree and I is a big reason that I went from being in one day of filming to let's keep him around on all of this because I'm mic'd up and everybody kept walking up to me during the first, they just put the camera on and turn you loose. They're not walking around urging you to say.
Sure, no, I got you. I got you.
So I'm walking around. People would always walk up and say, "What's going on with you and Bree? When are you going to get there?" So I would just, how long has it been? Through just the whole day, they heard the whole thing. They heard a dozen people walk up and ask me, and we were on the way back. And I was sitting with one of them. I got the text from the other, but I was sitting with one of them. He goes, "Is all that stuff true about Bree?" I said, "Yeah."
Did you say now it's a pitch?
Yeah, I'm just lying. I thought it would sound good. I'm trying to work my way.
Working this one for 3 seasons.
And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You got a picture?" I said, "Sure." I showed a picture. He goes, "That's Bree." I said, "Yeah." So he goes. So anyway, that ended up being a big part of it. So I'm going to end up getting there. They're just being difficult. Let me tell you the lengths I've gone. I have a friend. Well, Tad and Kit.
Sure.
Tad has a friend that lives that worked in Australian government, lives in Australia now, has friends in Australian government, knows Ollie North. Sent an email to the Australian immigrations and government on my behalf, and they shut him down like that. So my next step is just getting an immigration attorney. They're going to let me in. They're just going to make me pay to get there. And again, you know why it is? It's because of a DWI, which, by the way, is expunged. But for those keeping track, this is an important thing. For those keeping track, I'm still sober. 4 years, 4 months, and 11 days right now.
4 years, 4 months, and 11 days. Wow. That's off of booze. But you quit the hard crap before that.
Yeah, I quit all the hard stuff. I quit. It's got to be a dozen years. And here's the thing.
I would say if I had to put a date to it, I would say that you quit in 2008.
Really?
Yeah. Trust me on this one.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So it's been a long time. Yeah, you know exactly when.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the hard stuff I quit. And you know what? It's really interesting. Those were, believe it or not, the easiest ones to quit.
No, I believe that. Those weren't your drugs of choice. I mean, I think, this is something that I think people, we don't talk about this a lot, but you can get addicted. You can get physically dependent on a drug that's not your drug of choice.
Here's the thing. And it's not like the dope sickness gets any easier if it's not your drug of choice.
Not at all.
Dope sickness, but up here is a lot easier to quit if it's not your drug of choice.
Once you can get the chemical out of your body, you're not going to have the same pull back that you did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My buddy in quadruple parentheses got diverted again instead of upriver. Really?
We missed something good.
Sorry?
We missed something good. That happens to me a lot. I'm in a stream. I'll read something, catches my eye. I'll read it and clear it. It's something from above that I didn't get the first part of it. And I end up being
Did
lost.
You get Yankee Kyle?
Yankee Kyle. Man, good to see you, dude. Hey, congratulations, dude. 35 years. You should be proud
35.
of that. 35 years. You got to be proud of
that. That's honking.
It really is.
That's up there in the big leagues right there, man.
I'm pretty excited for my next one is 5 years. I'm excited about 5 years. You know, the funny thing about when you're sober, the first year was such a huge milestone. So even on year one, I would have said year 5 is going to be a big deal, but every single year was such a big deal for me. This last one, 4 years, was exciting,
Hey, Awakened, we love you. If there's anything we can do to help, reach out, all right? Hang in there, hon.
You know what yes, I'm not sure what's going on, but hang in there for sure. You know what's going on? What happened to me the first? I don't think I shared this really on the channel the last couple of times I've interviewed with you. I downloaded an app to my phone, and every day I can look at it, tell how much I've saved, what day it was, the whole 9 yards, how many hours basically. This is the one that took.
Yeah.
2 times before like there were 2 bad relapses, and actually one bad relapse. And the last one was a good relapse because it was the very last one ever. And now it's been almost 4.5 years. But I remember downloading the app, and I got like 3 or 4 days in, and just it's funny when somebody that is in your 5. If you start going through, you got ants going all over the place, and you feel like you want to use. If you don't call somebody that's in your 5, it's because you wanted to use.
Yeah, you know what?
And the first 2 times, I was, I wanted to. So I drank again. I couldn't look at my phone because they didn't want to look at it. So I deleted the app.
Yeah.
And I did it one more time. And the last time was the time that worked. But, I never understood that one thing that I learned from this channel that is remarkable is that I thought relapse simply meant, for instance, if you're somebody that's sober from alcohol, I always thought relapse simply meant you're drinking
drunk
again. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. It's a mindset, just moving in that direction. And when I learned that was a really, really important thing to me.
That was an eye opener. You know what? I remember going through. There was a lot of stuff like that when I came across. The other thing that really was a hard thing for me was this concept of as you begin to take hold of this this process. The saying, "I absolutely have zero control." The fact that you basically you build your entire life on the fact that you can't control something, and that was really hard for me. Those early days of saying, yeah, but even if because you want to say, well, if I could get like 60 days under my belt, I could probably get my crap together, and then I could start doing smack on the weekends. You know what I mean? Like you really try to talk yourself into every scenario that you could possibly come across where there's some way that you can do this just every now and then, maybe just
it's like when you're using, it's almost like you think in your head that if you just pull the handle the right way, the right way to figure it out will come up, that you can keep using it.
Yeah, because that guy Chip did it.
Right, Chip. There's no doing that.
The guy that they named the whole chipper, the whole chipping thing after. No, but you know what? For one of the things that changed was the kind of getting intimately involved in trying to figure this whole process out. You understand what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like everything else. Once we kind of got into addiction the same way as we got into other things, and it became, one of those things we were going to read about. Kat, welcome. You look fantastic in green. Little Scoob action. Good to have you, Scoob. I mean it. Well, congratulations, Brandon. Keep up the good work, my brother.
I think there are people. The most important thing in anybody's individual journey that's using is that they get sober. But I think there's a couple kinds of sober people. There are sober people that are going to get sober, and there's sober people that are going to be a powerhouse and help others get sober. And I really want to help. You know what I mean? And if there's anything I can say can make a difference and help, that's a beautiful thing. That's why what you're doing is great. That's why I love steering people from the bus to the boat.
Well, you know what though? It's pretty cool that you're willing to even take that stance. Because to be really honest, there are certain things that you just don't do because they're killers, right? Like it's not great for your channel to come on out and say I had a heroin and a coke problem at one point.
Or that I'm a Christian. That's a beauty.
No, that's and the combo of the two. I mean, it's like slamming your stuff in a car door twice. But it's there's something to be said for just being who you are too, and I think that there's there's something powerful about that. And you know what? I think you're an inspiration to a lot of people solely for the sake of the fact that you didn't stop living life. Right. Congratulations, Jeremy. That's awesome. He says 5 months without a drink yesterday.
That's amazing. And there is Tad and Kit from Harvest 912. Wow.
Good to see you.
Love those guys. Some great stuff going on with them. I got to talk about that before we're done.
Please do.
We should do it now even. I mean, we're going to talk about sobriety. People can ask questions, but Harvest 912, they're started reviewing some stuff from the years ago, and man, he was originally doing the sauce circuit. Tad was in Australia, with a sauce called Mad Cow. Oh no, it was a different Mad Wombat, I think it was. Changed it to Mad Cow. It's a great sauce, right? So I reviewed it, and they told me originally they had this great idea about having a bus where they can with a doctor on it, with they could go around and help people that like don't have shoes and put shoes on people's feet and kind of helping one life, one soul at a time. The play on words with soul. Anyway, I got involved with them, and they're one of those people that can just take an idea and actually make it come to fruition, and they have an actual bus. And I've been with them a bunch of times. And this past a couple weeks ago, I was in Erie, and we did a clinic and went down and were able to meet people, and they all have amazing stories. And it's just, but we have now it's Chili Heads on a Mission is the hashtag. There are so many people in the chili community that are making Harvest 912 their charity of choice, and you can give back. Yeah, you can eat great hot stuff and at the same time put shoes on people's feet. And it's just so when I was down there, they asked me to be on their board, which was a spectacular honor, and they asked me to be their national spokesperson, which is really fantastic. So that's something that is like that's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of that. I'm more proud of
it's awesome.
I'm more proud of what's going on with Harvest 912 than I am of that plaque. I mean it. This is kind of why I kind of feel like this is kind of why the channel started.
I love it. I really do. Yeah. I absolutely love that.
None of these things would be happening if I wasn't sober. It's the true story.
Well, and I think that, that's something that I talk about every day on the boat, there, but for sobriety, none of this. I mean, none of this. Marv Harmon says, trying to figure out whether I'm a powerhouse or going to be unhappy, taking my first steps to not drink before I lose any and everything. I want to tell you something, Marv. You don't have to worry about any of that yet. The only thing that you got to worry about right now is that that you're able to get off of this. If you're getting ready to stop drinking, I don't know how much you're drinking. My advice would be to talk to a healthcare professional. It's always a really good idea with booze or with benzos to talk to a healthcare professional before you quit cold turkey, because people can have seizures on that stuff, and it kills people. I'm not making more of this than it is. I assure you, it's a very dangerous thing. But first thing you do is just get this stuff out of your life, right? And when the chemicals are gone, you'll figure out whether or not you're going to be a powerhouse. But I can promise you this: if you're unhappy, it's because you chose unhappy.
I think that you can sit in a chat like this and type that tells us what you're going to be when the chemicals are out.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully,
you're going to be that powerhouse. You would never have typed that. So
no, there's really something to that. And I'll tell you something, Marv. Truthfully, this is a difficult journey, but it's the greatest one ever. I did a video this morning where I talked about happy, and it's an incredible thing, but you literally have to choose it. You got to get up every single day. And you all right there, Johnny? You got that? Neck it in, man.
I had a boat in there.
Get it under control, man. What's the matter with you? These are my people. You're embarrassing me.
You'll turn this boat around.
I will turn this boat around. Takes a long time, but I will do it. No, but Marv, I'll tell you what, you're in a good place. We do a ton of videos about the process where you're at right now. And I'll tell you something, the decision that you're making, this is the most exciting thing for us in this. It's awesome when someone comes on and they've got 5 years of sobriety, but when somebody comes on and says, I'm making the decision to quit, I mean, that's that's when the banners fall from the ceiling and the confetti goes off and you hear.
Courageous thing to post. It shows so much about your fortitude, your intestinal fortitude, that you would even post that. So I listen, I've seen you in the chat tons of time, Marv. So you just got to stay strong. Here's what I always tell people: you are so much stronger right now than you think you are. I know you don't, it doesn't feel that way, but you are so much stronger than you think you are. You can do this. I swear you can. We got Tommy stuck. Or am I stuck too? All right, looks like you can see me still. Yeah, Marvin, when you first start, it's the most important thing. And he's right. I get chills when I hear somebody say they're brand new. So they're just making a decision. That's pretty exciting stuff. Let me see what's going on with the chat here. Guys, hang with me. It looks like I'm still alive. Nope. Looks like it's just me. All right. So I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is the Lifeboat. What are we going to talk about today? ZW, good to see you. Anik, good to see you. James R. Tommy, pretending to be stuck, right? You can see the goatee still swinging. Christy, good to see you. Working towards your goal, you deserve a great life. You know, the other thing that's really important to know when you first quit, this is super important. When you first quit, the ants are so much more powerful. Automatic negative thoughts. You know what I mean? And man, when I quit, I had my ants. Still have them. We all have them. Everybody has ants. But the ants, when you're trying to quit, are nasty. You know what? You know, they're nasty. And so it's really important to stay strong. Journaling is super important. I wish I had journaled at the beginning. I wasn't journaling when I first got sober. And the reason it's so important, I found out in journaling that, like, I learned some stuff about myself that would probably have cost me, forget the money, a couple of years of therapy, and I figured it out over the course of about 6 months of just journaling. And I mean, when I verbalize it, it's like it's deep. It's deep stuff that I kind of got out of myself, and journaling is critical, I think. And so I think early on, it's even more critical. Johnny, the new host of the boat, says Scooby. No, here comes Tommy. Hang on a second. Oh, yeah, Tommy calling. Let me hold on. Hello. Yeah, I lost internet connection for a second. I tried to get it back. We're not going to get it back on the feed. All right. I'm just going to wrap up, say goodnight to these fine people. Appreciate you having me on. Yeah, we should get going. We had a lot of people on it. Indeed. We'll do it again. Perfect. Bye. All right. So Tommy lost internet connection at the house there. See, they're 120 degrees, winds blowing, stuff knocking stuff over, you know, monsoons, power outage, stuff that wants to kill you. It's rough. So anyway, if there's no way to get back on, then we'll lose the connection and kind of lose the whole continuity of this stream. So I'm just going to say goodnight to everybody. You guys are amazing. Everybody that's trying, you can do it. I mean, this channel where you're at right now is super important. When I first got sober, I didn't have this channel. I had the captain. And I spoke to the captain all the time. And so what he's doing for you guys, he did for me. So super important. You can do it, though. But you got, do it. There's nothing more important. Awesome, Jason P. I love you guys. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I'm sorry that the internet connection broke, but we will do this again. All things go well. The trailer for the show will be out in a week, so that's going to bring more people on the bus and the boat. No way. You figured out how to get back in? Hang on a minute.
What are you talking about?
So you figured out how to get back in this thing?
What are you talking about? I got this. What are you talking about? We got it.
There we go.
Well, you know what? When I saw that you were on, I was like, "Oh, then obviously because it's my feed. So if you're on, I must still be live." So we were talking about Harvest 912 and the charitable aspects of this. I think one of the beautiful things about staying on on YouTube, being a content creator as long as you have, is that it opens up opportunities to do things like that. You know what I mean? Or you've done a whole hell of a lot for the Lifeboat as well. You know what I mean? For people that have been around a long time, they all remember the first 1,000 subscribers was, Chase the Heat and Mark Wages. You know, that was the first to Stroming. Do you remember we went and ate that foul of fish, and then we just sat and stared at the count and watched it go up by about 30 or 40 people every half hour for a day and a half. It was fantastic. I don't know if it was worth it, because every once in a while when I burp, I still taste the Stroming.
You know what's bad about that is that it affects you for
the rest of your life.
No, maybe, but I mean, like the immediate effects. If you don't think that's PTSD, I'm not even joking. I'm not even trying to get.
Look, have you ever gone and watched somebody do a systroming video?
I've seen a million. I haven't watched anybody do it live. I've done it.
No. But I'm saying you would like when I watch other people's videos, I'm there. I'm right back.
Oh.
It is literally the proof of what I talk about all the time on the channel about how your brain will grab a memory. And when you think about that memory, you're back to exactly where you were at that time. That happens to me. Like I don't even enjoy watching the other people choke on systroming because I'm instantly just back at the pond.
Well, I don't either. I really enjoy watching you choke on it. I'm sorry, I just did. It was so much fun. Just like that. Listen, the Sprite and the banana, that was great fun.
Yeah.
The milk, that was great fun.
The duck almost killing us on the banana and the Sprite day was the best.
At this point, though, people expect it. So when we get together.
Yeah, I mean that is the thing, right? I mean, we've set the bar kind of high. I'm kind of wanting to try the durian thing.
I love durian. I'll do that with you all day. Isn't that great that we thought this whole thing was on the end? You guys stuck it. It was almost like an encore. You guys lit your matches from your lighters in the back. And Tommy came back out for some more.
Hold on, you want a great comment? If I was doing Tommy's picks, this is comment of the month right here. Right? If I was still doing Tommy's picks. Diana M says, I wish someone would make a movie about the two of you. I'm from Boston, and the Wahlbergs aren't even half as interesting as you guys. A shot to Marky Mark. You just have got to love that. I'm serious. That just tickles the hell out of me. I love that. Especially a Mark Wahlberg reference at the same time. That is.
I remember once, I'm not even going to say the year because it's just a long time ago. Someone said we were somewhere and someone said that to you and I said the same thing, almost verbatim. You guys should have a TV show. Yeah. I remember the day. We were at Adam's place.
Yeah, I knew where we were. I know just what you're talking about too. I remember the girl.
Yeah, you do.
She stuck out like Wednesday in the middle of the week in Burlington, Vermont.
She sure did.
Captain Sir Johnny. Thank you.
And Zed Chilihead, good to see you, man.
New Zealand Chilihead, I appreciate you, my brother. I really do. He's another of the fine pepper community that is. So I am going to end up cutting this thing a little early, Johnny, and I'll tell you why. We are just now starting to get all of the fun from the monsoon.
So you know what? Listen, you guys, it's either 150 degrees. It gets super cold at night. The wind wants to knock over stuff that can crush your home. The stuff out in your yard that will kill you. You know what I mean? The power goes out constantly. Monsoons, hurricanes. It's ridiculous.
Wait. This coming from a dude that wants to go to Australia. Like 80% of the insects in Australia can kill you. And they don't do it by biting you. They slap you around. They beat you and humiliate you, and then they kill you. Like everything in that country is.
Some of them burrow under your skin, though, and then set up camp, and then they start.
They have trees that can kill you. That's a country that they have trees that if you brush up against this bad boy, it's all over. For real. It's got a great name too. I can't remember the name of the tree. Someone will put it up in the chat, I promise you, because everybody here is smarter than I am. But they got this tree that all you got to do is like rub up against this bad rascal, and that's the end of the ball.
They can also do this. We can't do this and Google it because, well, you know, they can see us, but they can Google it. We're going to see in just a minute. You watch.
It's the tree that if you brush up against it will kill you. The Aussie tree.
There you go.
And you need that. You know what I mean? You need a tree that brushing up against can kill you.
I'll tell you what, I came out of this place one night. They had this dinner, and we came out. We were in Sydney, and when I came out, I heard this squeaking. I have a video of it. I think I showed you the video. You hear the squeaking, and you look up, and there is it's a you know what it is? It's a red fox with a giant wingspan. Is what it was. This thing. I've never seen anything like it. I wasn't one of these little. You know, in America, these little things that this was going. Big giant whooping things. That's Australia, man.
See?
Everybody was one more thing. I was the only one. Listen, I was the only one going, what is that? Everybody else is just looking around. I was like, "Do you guys see that?" They're like, "What?"
They've got spiders you can put saddles on.
Oh yeah,
For real. Like I got a hand I got the biggest hands you've ever seen. I can palm a basketball. Like seriously, I can palm one of those workout balls that people
I had a
use.
run-in with one of their spiders, a huntsman. Here's the problem with their spiders. Every other spider in the world is like, I mean, I'm 175 pounds. I have like a nightmare to a spider, right? Every spider will run and flee from me. Huntsman's like, dude, you got a problem? And we'll like bow up against you, and it'll take 3 or 4, like it'll cruise like a foot really quick in your direction just to see how fast it can make you back up. It's terrible.
It would be impressed as hell at how fast I could back up. I promise you that right now. Seriously, they'd be saying to each other, "Hey, the guy with the mustache, you never seen anybody back up that quick. That dude's a beast." I took a half a centimeter step toward him, and he was in a different state in a matter of seconds.
I was in a parking lot with Rob Dunn, and there was one about this big, a huntsman. It had been hanging on the side of the car. We got there, we're going 60 miles an hour. It gets there, hops off like he was catching a ride with us. So Dunn's out there, goes, "You guys see this, Johnny?" So I get my camera. I got a picture of it. I get my camera out. I'm trying to get as close as I can to this thing without getting so close they could kill me, because that's,
Right, yeah.
So I zoom it in. I'm about 3 feet away, but as I get close, Dunn's behind me and pinched the back of my leg. I swear to you, I jumped I pulled every muscle in my body, jumping it so hard. Everything hurt, tingled everywhere. I could have killed him.
I really have accidentally killed someone in the same situation. You know what I mean? First of all, though, the fact that we're not the same people, like we should get this established. Because if you're doing this number and you're going toward the spider, no.
Well, I was zooming. Listen, I think you could be an alien. Is the thing. In the last couple of weeks, there was a lot of people. I get a lot of alien comments on the channel that I'm an alien. I explained to them the whole similarity between. It's a coincidence. It's simply.
You're talking about the fact that the aliens show up on our birthdays?
Yeah, exactly. But the truth is, if one of us is an alien, it's you.
Well, here's the deal. I feel like aliens would probably get along with arachnids, things with 8 legs. I don't have any patience whatsoever for things that have more than 4. As a rule of thumb, if you got more than 4 legs, and I kind of like the things that are furry. You know what I mean? Like that are fun to pet and they're cute. I don't dig any of the animals and don't give me the tarantula thing, because we got those here and they're furry as hell, to be sure. But I don't kill them or anything. I'll just leave them alone. Like, get away from me.
See,
same with
the
rattlesnake out there.
You get fur on a cat. It's a beautiful thing. It's the way it's supposed to be. You have fur on a spider? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Right? I'm sorry. I'll tell you something, though. They're nothing compared to that huntsman.
Listen, when I tell you that it moved this far really fast and then did one of these numbers just to see how, I'm not kidding you. It was a horrifying moment.
Brought the Girl Scout out you pretty quick, didn't it?
Big time.
Huh? Nothing will bring the Girl Scout out of you quicker than a spider. I mean, fast. I'm sorry. I go from masculine to I am done in quick fashion. I do not like spiders.
Yeah,
for real. Like you got a rodent out there? Honestly, you got a rabid dog? I'll go out there. I got this. I'm not tripping.
Yeah, snakes. I'm not scared of snakes.
I'm a bad man.
I can handle snakes. Here's the other problem.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, but I'll hit one with a hatchet.
There are several things that are wrong with spiders. They have too many eyes. Do you understand? They have way more than 2. That's a problem. They have way too many legs, and the hair. The hair. Do you ever see the video of a guy driving in a car in Australia? The huntsman's on the inside, on the roof of his car. And it's the camera. The video is being taken from inside. They look up, and there's a huntsman. Don't
stuck to the top of it.
Yeah, you won't sleep if you see it.
I'd bail out of that car at 60. I'm not even playing. I don't think you have a real appreciation for just how much I hate these freaking things. You know what I mean? Like, I remember watching this documentary one day, and the guy was like, anywhere in the United States of America, you are never more than 10 feet away in any direction from a spider. Anywhere in the U.S. I was like, I'm sleeping in the pool for the next 3 weeks. 6 feet?
6 feet. Yeah.
You're a jerk.
But if you're in the water, if you're in a pool, you're all set. If you go in the ocean, they're just ocean creatures, same thing.
Yeah, you're a jerk. I'm not going in the ocean anyway, though, so that's all right. How did we get on this, man?
I don't know, but listen, the other thing that before we get off tonight, the other thing that's really important that everybody should know is that my maintenance, I think that eating peppers does help a great deal because of the differences in serotonin. It increases serotonin levels, which is really important. But my maintenance, you know this, Tommy, because I'm in your every single day. I'm in his live streams,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of like, you know what? I hate to say this. I'm not trying to. It's kind of like church. It gets me fired up and ready, and it's good for me. It's like hearing a message.
Well, it's the reason that sobriety meetings have always kind of been the gold standard, is because we need a support group, and we need a rah-rah section every once in a while. That's something that every one of us, we never got that, right? We got crapped on. They're not particularly nice to those of us who are fighting hard to try to to get our lives back. So it's nice to have a place where everybody's pulling for you, and everybody understands what you've gone through. That's kind of a big deal. So listen, I saw you do the last couple of challenges. I mean, you've been going really hard to the paint. You really have. Was it 18 or 19?
Primatalis? It was 18.
Yeah.
18.
18 primatalis.
Yeah.
Man, what are you thinking? It brings up the question that is on everybody's mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How's your butt, dude? No, for real.
It's fine. Here's
Is it the red ring of death? You can tell us.
Since you brought it up, I'm going to give you a real answer because you had to go there. Here's the answer. The reason people are asking that is because of some of their experience. So they went to Chili's one night, and they had their stuffed jalapeno poppers. They ate them. There was a couple one fresh one on the side. They ate that. Their friends thought they couldn't believe their friends how cool it was. Their friends, watched. Well, they ate another one. And that's what happened. So the next day, they had the Szechuan ring. Yes. So what ends up happening is they think, well, if that happened to me, surely it happened to everybody. What must it be like for him? If that happened to me, do you think I'd still be doing this? Come on. I'm a sharp cat. I find a different mountain and climb it to death.
I'm not going to lie to you. I've had some issues.
It's
not a permanent thing, but what?
In the last 7 years, I've had 2 very, very bad experiences.
Endorphin dumps on the potty.
That stands out in memory that I won't even discuss. Twice. So no one's immune to it, but it certainly is something that happened. Think of that, 2 times in almost 8,000 videos.
That's pretty impressive.
I mean, most people have that just living a normal life.
Right. Seriously, with just a couple of jalapeno poppers. But a Saturday evening.
But that's the thing. And there are so many people that eat a habanero and go, it feels like your mouth's getting a tattoo. They put the pepper down. They never eat another one. They think that every pepper that gets hotter after that burns the same way.
Let me tell you something. I hate habaneros, dude.
Why?
Because I don't like what it does to your mouth. It's like a tattoo for your tongue. It's completely different than other peppers. Other peppers burn. That one stings. And I don't like those at all. And you know what? Because I had done, I get into the pepper thing late, right? So I had already done a lot of really hot ones, right? I had already done things, and everyone's like, "Oh no, Hobbs are nothing. They're only this many." So by the time I got to a habanero, I had already done a Carolina Reaper. I had already done some pretty gnarly peppers. But I threw that thing back and was like, "What in hell is that? Like, I'm not doing that again."
I feel bad. You sort of got screwed because you came out. Number one, technology has just done a number on you.
Oh yeah.
And then you're my brother.
Yeah.
And it's like you're expected to like.
Do you remember the trouble I had with cameras in the beginning?
Yeah. What I remember is like just
I did a tube of terror that didn't count.
Stupid.
Then I did 2 that didn't count.
Dumb thing. He eats a tube of terror in a speed round as fast as he can. He gets it down in like 44 seconds, and then takes a bottle. That's not a dropper or a tubeful, but a whole bottle of tincture, takes the top off and chugs it and washes down the last of the tubes of terrapins with a whole bottle of tincture.
And that was a wrap there. That was
You're lucky. Can I tell you something? You're so lucky that you didn't go to a hospital for that one.
The only reason I didn't go to a hospital is because I couldn't stand up. I'm not being funny. I doubled up so bad. I was sitting there the whole time thinking if I could get to the car, I'd go to the hospital. Like I figured I had punched my ticket. It was the worst cramping I've ever had. My knees were on my chest and I couldn't straighten them out. You couldn't have done it with a crowbar. Seriously. If you had drawn and quartered me, you'd have done it with my letting my knees still up around my
How long did it take? How long did the cramps last?
a full day.
You're an idiot. What did you do that for, though?
I had cotton mouth so bad, and there was like 25 more minutes of talk show.
So that makes sense. You drink that because you have cotton mouth?
I wasn't going to get through the rest of the talk show. Like I just had this mulch. It was stupid. I mean, but hindsight being 2020, I certainly would never have done it again. You'll notice I didn't do a second speed run bottle of tincture challenge.
That's like one the doctors call that one trial learning. Like you will never do that again. I mean,
no, I figured it out. To my credit, I figured it out.
I did a whole bunch of tincture under my tongue once. That was a mistake. The skin under there, very tender.
Apparently, you need to try jet boating on your holiday.
You know, NZ's got this thing. You've seen the jet boating in Colorado, Tommy.
Yeah.
Nothing cool about it. These guys go, they're flying down. I wouldn't be comfortable on the open ocean doing the things that they do. But
right.
They do with rocks on the side, and it's a jet. And they don't have one or two people in the back. They got 40. And
yeah.
Have you seen what? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. It looks like you're graduating class in this dangerous boat swinging around.
NZ, Chilihead, they do that in New Zealand. They wants me to do that. And I said, look, we do that at planes. I'll do some ratchet stuff. I got chutzpah. There's nowhere in the world you're getting me. I wouldn't even want to play a simulation of that. That's not cool to me.
You know what it is, though?
Would you do that? Hey, listen, now that we're talking, would you do that? Tell me the truth.
Would I do it?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Good. Thank you.
But not because of a courage thing. It's not that I'm particularly afraid of it. I look at the risk return on all of those things. You know what I mean? Like I did bungee jumping once out of a hot air balloon. So now when people bring up bungee jumping, I go like this. Well, it wasn't all that much fun. Hey, and there is a chance you can smack the ground.
My friend Jay, when he celebrated his last sobriety, he had never skydived, decided he wanted to skydive, did a tandem. Yeah, he had a cutaway and hit a reserve ride on his first jump ever.
And you don't get to cut it loose.
You should hear
you're just along for the ride, hoping your guy. Oh, forget
I've got to send you the video because they talk. Okay, you ready? Here we go. We're gonna do this. I mean, scary.
He pulls the old poo handle.
I would way rather do that than sit in the back of this giant boat with this dude. Who trained him? Like,
for all you know, he's Otto from The Simpsons.
Who trained him? There's no course, and is there like ongoing education? How does he know? I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea. There's nothing good can come from that.
How about those big see-through balls that people roll down hills in?
Hey, do you ever see the bad one?
I beg your pardon?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh no! Does it go horribly wrong? Does it go awfully wrong?
I think it's in Russia.
They go off a cliff or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Well, I've seen a couple where it looked like that was going to happen.
One doesn't make it. One makes it, but he's not right.
I should imagine not.
Here's what happened. This is the most horrific thing. You look at it from the point of view of watching it, it's this beautiful big ski ride. It's snowy as can be. Tons of crowd of people down here. The ball goes like this. It just goes down over the cliff. I mean, over a cliff. And it bounces for 2-3 miles, man. It keeps going and going. And you're watching it. It keeps getting further and further away. And they keep zooming it in. Because do you guys is anybody watching in the chat know what I'm talking about? It is horrific.
So I'm guessing you don't want to do one of those either.
No, I do that before I ever did the. No, I'm just not going to do that in a Russian mountain.
I think that looks to me like the zipper.
Oh, the zipper.
Like you're basically just riding the zipper. It's even got some handles in there that are like the zipper, right? So you just hold on to that thing.
The zipper.
I got on a zipper once, people, and spun nonstop for the entire ride.
Hang on, does everybody know what a zipper is?
Of course, everybody knows what a zipper is. This is a civilized channel. I don't know about you people over there on Chase the Heat, but
well, you know what?
On the boat, everybody knows what a zipper is.
Okay,
it's just the greatest dangerous ride of all time. 2 days ago, it was on an 18-wheeler going 70 miles an hour down the street, but today, there's a cotter pin between you and death.
And there's some extra parts.
Oh,
There's a pile of extra parts off to the side. We go to the
without
zipper.
fail.
We're in Texas, and we had a guy with us. Ironically, he was with us the first time Tommy and I ever skydived.
Jumped out of an airplane. Or Ford's
Anyway, you think he'd be a tough guy? He jumped out of a plane. Right? He's got some chutzpah. So he and Tommy get in this. You were with him, right? Or was I with him?
kid. No, first he got in with Diesel and tapped out, and then I had to get in with the
Diesel.
The guy that was running this thing had boots that came up like 3 inches above his knee. I'm not being funny. This guy's boots went 3 inches above his knee and laced up the entire way. And he had this fragrant cologne that he was wearing, which a good deal of was diesel fuel. But he said, your boy doesn't want to go again. You want to go? And I'm wearing a tie, by the way. We just come from an office and we're driving by and we see this thing on the side of the road. I said, pull over, zipper. And I got on the ride with this guy and he tapped out. The man that runs the zipper for a living said, I'm done. And I said, say it louder. I want them to hear it. Yeah, I'm not quitting. You tell him. He said, I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I tapped out the zipper operator. It's one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. I'm still not right.
People don't realize with the zipper, if you wedge your feet down and you lift yourself up and put your head to the front, lean to the front, as it starts to roll, it ain't gonna stop.
One hand low, one hand high. Yeah, and you have to do it in sync with the guy or gal that you're riding with. And if you do it right, it is literally like a scrambled egg for your brain. Your gray matter's shot for a really long time.
So this guy is in there and he's screaming. He isn't even going anywhere. He's yelling, stop it.
What are you doing? Knock this off. Knock it off. He was not having any fun.
We're like, dude, quit it. Everybody can hear you, man. We're right here.
Yeah, we're like, hey, knock it off, Pete. Seriously, neck it in. I'm not joking, man. Let me off this thing. We're like, hey, come on, man. Let it go. So he's like, you don't understand. I said, I'll take it. Come on, you and me, Diesel. Yeah, the zipper. So, it really is one of those tests as you're growing up because it's just so dangerous. You look at it and you know that the guy that put it together was probably on meth. You know what I mean? Like there's a good chance that Carney hasn't slept in a few days. What's that?
I've never been on one where there wasn't a pile of extra parts to the side.
No, there always is. And at least one zipper cage that is not connected, but just laying right near it.
Sure.
Whole cage on its side. You're just thinking to yourself, yeah, this is just all bad. All right, we've devolved. We're talking about zippers. Yeah. Listen, what has happened?
We should wrap it up.
So when is your teaser again? Let's wrap it up with that.
It goes a week from today. I'm not sure. What I'm going to do is this. I've told everybody on my channel, if they have a bus pass, the day before the teaser drops, I'm going to do a live stream just for the bus pass people. And I'm telling them everything.
You're going to spill your guts?
Spilling it, dropping that dime, bringing that NDA case. The other day, I reached out to one of the producers, and I took a picture of the big banner, the Chase the Heat, Pepper Rodeo.
Right.
I said, can I post this? He goes, man, I don't see why not. He goes, if you get in trouble, just say, my bad. So that's what he told me. So I posted already. We're close. We're very close. It looks like the show is going to happen on October 1.
October 1.
You're going to have all episodes from season 1 and the cliffhanger for season 2 all at the same time.
You heard it here, people. And we will have my big brother back on if if he's not too cool by that point.
I'm sorry, who? Just have your guys reach out to my guys, all right? We'll see.
Yeah, you know what I mean? For real. I'll have
see if we can do something.
I'll rent an agent for the day and have them call yours. How'd that be?
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you, Johnny. It's always a pleasure, man. I love you.
I love you guys. I love you, Tommy.
I appreciate the fact that in spite of the fact, that I'm mom's favorite, you've always treated me just the same. All right, people. I am Tommy Scoville. That is my brother, Johnny. And this here, well, of course, this is a cat in a basket, and she is out. You see that? Nothing. For all you know, she's been dead 2 days. Good night, everybody.